And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Rogue Actions. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, your weekly amazing show with all the top news in Swiggo, all the top happenings. Of course, with me, Ram Bam, and Shawka.
Hi,
how you doing, Shawka?
Doing pretty good, man. How about you?
It's been a week.
It's been a week. I hear you. I had a nice weekend last weekend though. Beautiful weather. Got outdoors.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
Saw the sun. I know that's not something that you do very often.
No. What's the sun? Remember that guy from the Benchwarmers? No, of course you don't, because you don't know culture.
I don't get that reference.
Jesus Christ. Oh man. All right. If you guys are new to the channel, which shouldn't be, because I mean, yeah, we've been doing this I don't know how long. 3 topics over here, 3 topics over on Shawka's channel. You gotta like, follow, subscribe, all that fun stuff over on both to get the full details of everything that's going on. So do that right now. Like, follow, subscribe, all that stuff. His links are down in the channel below. We're gonna do 3 topics over here, go over to his channel and do the exact same thing. And of course, we're all gonna have fun while we're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how that works.
That's what she said. Anyway.
Jesus Christ. All right. So, of course, we're going to start off with the mini meme of the week. If you guys are new, obviously, you can go to my Discord, submit your meme submissions, and me and Shawka will vote on it for which one we think is best, and then obviously give a shout out to the winner. So this week's winner is Bat Dad with this amazing meme right here. It's from Rogue One. What is it they sent us? Hope. Looks like a regular data disc, but okay.
It did look a lot like a data disk.
It does.
Although I don't think we knew what a data disk was at the time, though.
No, because this was 2016, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
definitely before data disks.
Yeah, this is like data way before Datacrons and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was with Conquest. That's well, Conquest has only been around for 2 years.
See, but this rebel officer, he knows the frustration. He knows the pain.
Yes. He immediately quit the movie because he was like, "This is too much of a grind. I'm out of here."
I'm surprised he didn't die. Well, then he proceeds to actually die in the next film because it picks up with Vader choking him. Spoilers. I'm sorry. You know, if you haven't seen a movie that's 8 years old, Shawka.
I have seen that one.
I'm surprised.
I know.
Color me shocked.
Every now and then.
I'm sorry, guys. I have to put out a spoiler here. We have been, so as of recording this video, we're both a bit loopy because as of recording this video, we've been recording this when Meathead revealed his puzzle, and we have been sitting here reading the chat in swiggoevents.gg server, whatever, in Discord, and
you know that SpongeBob thing that pops up and it says 3 hours later.
Accurate.
Well, yeah, it's real life accurate. Yeah.
Real life accurate. Actually, I was going to refer to the Billy Madison thing. What was it? At no point in your incoherent rambling response did you give anything that made any sense. What was? Damn. Now I'm faking on it. I award you no points. May God have mercy on you. So there's one point that made sense in that whole thing, and I completely forgot it, and I'm not going to edit this out. This is how brain dead I am.
Well, I'm not going to be able to help you.
You're all now dumber for having listened to it. Yes. After reading that chat, I'm dumber than I already was, which is hard to do.
I have seen Billy Madison, but I think I saw it once, and that was it. So
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm of no help there.
No, you're a black hole of culture. We know. Oh, all right. That being said, we have some crazy stuff happen. So, among trying to figure out what we wanted to talk about and this crazy puzzle chat that we're just sitting here laughing at, I went into the game to do my dailies as you know, one normally does. And I came across something in the store, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, there's Datacrons, because I normally will go into my Datacron store and I'll buy data cache. with all my extra Shark Shop currency that I have a whole abundance of. And I saw a Datacron set with a whole bunch of materials that I don't currently have, like all zeros. And I'm like, that's not right, because I have a whole bunch of Datacron materials.
Yep.
And I started looking. And there's a new Datacron set in the game as of this Friday night. There's no post to go with said Datacron set. The only place that you can find this set is in the game. Great job. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the actual set itself. It actually looks like a pretty good set. Not going to lie. I don't think actually the factions were really of any shock. See what I did there?
I did. I caught that, yeah.
You understood that reference.
I got that reference, yes.
The faction sets were not actually a surprise. I think we all kind of expected two of them. I think the third one could be up in the air, but two of them are sure.
Old Republic, I think no one would have necessarily thought that was coming, but I don't know that anybody would be surprised by that either necessarily.
Right.
Because it hasn't been touched in a long time, and it makes sense as far as a random faction to buff up a little bit.
Yeah. So let's start from the top with the alignment. So obviously, the level 3s sometimes are really good. A lot of times they're really not. They're not the make or break of the Datacron set. So Shawka, you being the Datacron aficionado more or less, do you see any level 3s in either of these that really stick out to you?
Level 3 light side, not particularly. There's nothing there that really gets my goose in a gander or anything like that. I don't know if that's the actual saying or not. I just kind of made it up.
It is now.
Yeah. Let me know in the comments if that's a real saying, guys. But the dark side stuff, there's a lot of stuff in the dark side that's going to be very, very helpful in my opinion. So again, light side, the only thing I can see maybe going for is stuff that gives you buffs. So for instance, special ability, they get invasion up, health steal up, health up, all that jazz. If you're trying to just gain buffs for gaining buff purposes, that could be helpful. Outside of that, the only other one I really think that people are going to go for is if you have 3 debuffs that can be dispelled, you gain tenacity up. But even that's too little too late. Like if you already have ability block and stun on you, well, what good does tenacity up do for you? You're already done. So
what are you talking about? Are you looking at the wrong set?
No, light side level 3. No mercy.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Like I said, guys, loopy.
Moving along. The dark side, though. So you have a tank revive one here. That's obviously going to be very usable. The 10% turn meter whenever an ally or enemy is defeated. That has limited usages, but obviously in an Imperial Trooper team, that's going to be very good for you. Obviously, anytime you can get thickness, get a max health and max protection for each ally, that's also usable. And of course, 15% turn meter on special abilities, that's not bad either. Pretty much all other than the 2% health critical hit situation, those are all really very, very usable dark side level 3s. So I think if in terms of the farming purposes, as soon as you get a dark side, you're just taking straight to level 6 and then going from there.
Yeah.
So, because they're all going to be very usable.
For sure. So, yeah, I agree. The light side was just kind of underwhelming. Protection up, I guess. I mean, that'd be good for a Padme team. If you have a Padme team.
I think the nice thing about this is there's almost zero reason to do any rerolls of your level 3s before you take them up.
Yeah.
You pretty much just go for as many crons as you can, get them to level 6, and then evaluate whether you want to take them up or not take them up, and then do rerolls from there. So,
for sure. So, looking at the level 6s, so we have 3 factions. We got Mercenary, we got Unaligned Force User, we got Old Republic. Obviously, we know Mercenary being the brand new tag. That's going to have a lot of the good stuff. Right off the rip. at the start of each of their turns, they have 2% offense equal to number of stacks of Soldier of Fortune they have until they're defeated. Also, when the enemy attacks out of turn, they take bonus true damage, can't be evaded, and can't defeat them. Obviously, that's a call to the Shin Hati team, and ultimately, Balin Skull, whenever he does come out, he's gonna have that. It's gonna be a nasty team. So that's exactly what that is for right there. But Shawka, there was another one that you said was going to be really nasty for mercenaries.
Yeah, so I think there's a couple of them here that could be very good. So the one right underneath that, whenever a mercenary ally inflicts a debuff, deal bonus damage equal to 10% of the max health. Think about characters like Dash. Dash dishes out a ton of debuffs. He is going to just do mad amounts of damage to teams. Anybody that's going to do any kind of debuffs like that and is a mercenary character, they're going to do some work. I think that's going to really reinvigorate a lot of factions that we don't think are that great because of that. The other one, of course, that's going to be really good here is the special ability. They stun the target for one turn, which they evaded or resist. The same thing as in the Datacron right now. And anyone that has that knows how OP that is. Like, you just immediately stop teams in their tracks because you can't avoid getting the stun, basically. So even as I look at this right now, unless I have Shin and the Balin team, I actually don't want that first one. I don't want the paragraph one. I want one of those other two ones because it's going to apply to more of my characters and my factions and things like that than what that Soldier of Fortune one will necessarily. So the other ones, I mean, they're not bad. Retribution obviously is not that great. And the offense equal to 400% of your current defense has its situations, but I think those are going to be a little less useful compared to the other two that are on there. So
for sure,
less controlling of your opponent, I guess, is the way I would say. And control is all what we want. It's the most important thing. Now,
your most favorite one right here, because I know how much you love UFUs and more specifically Inquisitors.
No, God, that's not where I wanted to go. No. I did not think of Inquisitors at all. But yeah, Starkiller, Malicos. Oh my goodness gracious! Like
money.
It's just so many of these are going to be so good. But obviously, the paragraph one here, without a doubt, is going to be the biggest one that you want to get. Dispel debuffs on themselves, gain 5% turn meter. Special ability, you gain, with at least 3 buffs, you reduce the max health by 5%. 3 buffs dispelled, max health. Like, there's just so much good stuff here. It's really going to be very good for all of them. The other ones, again, same kind of situation. There are ones here that are not terrible, but they're not going to be that particularly amazing. Useful, yes, but certainly the paragraph one is the one that you're going to want to go for here for the UFUs, without a doubt.
So I'll actually say, depending on what team you're using, the unaligned force user defeat an enemy, they take a bonus turn is actually going to be pretty nasty too. And the reason why I say that is because Rey is obviously going to insta-kill somebody with her whirlwind. So she instantly gets to take another turn and either put out more protection up, which could trigger possibly another whirlwind, or go into old, or whatever the case is, right? The other one is Malicos. You have to think, and we'll get to him in a second, he puts out a ton of damage.
Yeah.
If he defeats an enemy, he just keeps taking turns, and he'll just keep throwing rocks and whatever at you.
Yeah.
He might be pretty nasty, so there's a lot of good ones in this one.
Yeah, there's definitely some very nice usability here. The only thing I wish, the unaligned force user starts the battle with damage immunity for 2 turns. It says can't be copied. I wish that was a can't be dispelled.
Yes.
That would be so freaking powerful. Like, imagine putting that on a Rey team.
Nasty.
Like, that would just destroy so many teams that go against that, because you take all these turns, you get to her alt, poof, like, you're done. It'd be a timeout disaster.
Yeah.
That's probably a bad idea.
That's probably why they did that.
Anything I just said. Yeah. Don't listen to anything I just said. It'd be bad.
Last but not least, so we have the Old Republic on here as well. which is funny because actually look at the, I don't know if you could see that, but look at the logo next to the Old Republic. That's the Jedi logo.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, that is the Jedi logo. Yeah.
That's. Can anybody, if anybody can correct me on that, if that's the older, maybe that's the logo they use for the Old Republic, but I thought that was something different. That looks like the Jedi logo to me.
The only thing, it looks like the middle part might be a little bit different.
Maybe I can't zoom in.
Let me bring up my Datacrons real quick because we can look at a Jedi one here, and let me see if I can see. Okay, it is slightly different. Yes.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it is slightly different. So there's like a little star in the middle of the Jedi one with a straight line in the middle versus the
okay. I see it. Yeah.
Slightly different.
Got it. Okay. That's just crazy. They look really, really, really similar.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's probably intentional.
Yeah. Well, yeah, now that I see it, it is more of the Old Republic SWTOR kind of logo a little bit. So, okay, that makes sense. So on here, Old Republic is one of those weird factions. Nobody really uses them with Old Republic. They use them pieced together with someone else, right? Juhani goes with, maybe a Starkiller team or a Mara J team or something. Revan goes with Jedi. So really, you have a whole bunch of Old Republic allies. Canderous goes with Mandalorians, right? Mm-hmm. So there's viability. I don't know if there's anything that's insanely crazy on the level 6s, unless I'm missing something, Shawka.
I don't think there's anything that sticks out immediately. I think this is more of a situational one.
Yeah.
So for instance, like Old Republic ally grants a buff to another ally. The ally gains 10% turn meter. So Basti giving those buffs to Yoda, that's going to be a crap ton of turn meter. So, yeah. But again, it's a fairly situational thing. It's only going to happen once. It's not necessarily going to turn the tide of any battle, I don't think necessarily. Same thing. Anytime you have something where once you defeat an enemy, you get such and such a thing, that I think that has very limited purposes as well, because usually, unless you're in a trooper battle, if you've defeated a character, you're probably going to win regardless of that situation. But yeah, I don't know. With this one, the bottom one is probably the one I would be most interested in. Whenever they target another ally with an ability during the turn, they gain defense, max health, max protection, offense stacking. There's a lot of targeting of stuff with Old Republic teams. Think of Basti, think of Jedi Knight Revan, think of Jolie Bindo. There's a lot of call to assist. There's a lot of targeting of characters. So that one could potentially be very good, especially if you're running a JML team with Jedi. So every time you do the coin ability, that counts in that situation. So if you're targeting JML, for instance, for every single turn, he's gaining 5% protection every single time you target him with an Old Republic team or an Old Republic Jedi in this instance. Yeah. That's going to add up pretty fast. He's going to suddenly get really, really powerful very, very quickly.
For sure.
So I don't know how much that'll be used, but like I said, it's very situationally based.
Yeah, it's really just going to depend on what team you're actually running and where you're running them at. So, TB, TW, or GAC. The level 9s, there are a lot of good ones in here, guys. A lot of them. The ones that I'm just gonna keep it brief. We'll tell you who's got the level 9s, and then we're gonna point out the ones that I think stick out the most. So you got Jolie, you got Marjay, Cartho Nasty, Juhani, Grand Inquisitor, Kylo Ren, just regular first edition Kylo Ren.
OG.
T3M4, Jango Fett, Dengar, Eighth Brother, Hondo, Starkiller, Aura Singh, Maul, Sorty, Mission Veo, Shin Hati, Tyr Malkos, and Zalbar. So out of these, is there any particular one that sticks out for you?
So There's some obvious OP ones, and then I think there's a couple like, oh, that could be interesting ones as well. So the obvious OP one, so I'll point out one here, and I'll let you kind of take the other one. I think our two are pretty obvious. So one of my favorite UFU characters is Starkiller. So whenever another ally uses an ability on their turn, Starkiller assists, limit once per turn, dealing 50% more damage. Like, so obviously Palpatine takes a crap ton of turns in a Starkiller team. So that already is going to make him super powerful.
Yeah.
But think about in 3s, for instance. I don't think you're going to see this as much in 5s. In 5s, it's probably going to be your standard team. But in 3s, if you run a Vader lead, or here's another nasty, nasty team that I've seen before as well. If you put Savage lead with Starkiller, Savage is going to take turns over and over and over and over again. Like if you do, I'm trying to think, can you do Savage Talon? No, because that's 2 Sith, right?
No, you'd have to do Savage, Starkiller, and Mara. You could do Mara, or you could do. It'd have to be a light side UFU or a dark side UFU.
Yeah.
Or a Jedi.
Or a Jedi, yeah.
Yeah.
But either way, anyway, you run him every single time he gets hit, he's going to take a turn, and Starkiller is then going to assist with 50% more damage. Like he's going to reach his ult super fast.
Yeah.
Like that's going to be a disgusting team. Like there's a lot of, I hate 3v3s, but there's going to be a lot of 3v3 theory crafting involved with him and this Kron in particular. Yeah, this one is super, super OP, and I think everyone and their uncle is going to go for it.
Yeah. It looks really, really disgusting. The other obvious one I think that everybody is should go after, Terran Malicos. This dude is just going to rip teams apart worse than he already does. He shreds people to death. And with this, start of the battle, he's going to gain more stacks of Edge of Madness, 3 stacks of Resilient Defense, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. So you're going to force the taunt onto him, but then he's going to counter as well, right? Because Resilient Defense is the Mace Windu buff that they have, right? That's the auto taunt without being an actual taunt type thing. And then the first time that he gains 20 stacks of Edge of Madness, keep in mind he's going to already have 5 at the very beginning. He gains a bonus turn, his cooldowns are reset. So he throws rocks, gets his 20, throws rocks again. And each time he's just stacking up, depending on the level 6 that you have and the level 3 that you have, he's stacking up more damage, more everything. He's just going to shred.
Yeah, he's going to be disgusting.
Which
I can't wait. It's going to be great. I love running the UFU teams. They're so much fun.
Yeah.
Both Starkiller and Malicos. They're so much fun.
Hondo. Hondo's going to be nasty.
I was just going to say, yeah.
Basic ability, 9 stacks of ransom, protection up, and reduces cooldowns by 1 whenever he uses a basic ability. Hondo's going to be nasty. Sortie, you're going to start seeing Sortie along with raid teams more than likely, because Sortie's going to put Ben into a damage immunity, stealth, whatever, and then you're not going to be able to kill Rey. It's just going to be a timeout.
Yeah.
Grand Inquisitor. Yes, Grand Inquisitor. It's going to be pretty nasty.
I haven't read that.
Well, I'll read it for you. When Grand Inquisitor is active, Inquisitor's allies are immune to fear and stun, and whenever an ally or enemy is defeated, Inquisitor's allies gain 50% turn meter damage immunity for 1 turn, which can't be copied, and their cooldowns are reset. It's going to be nasty. And you have good Inquisitors now.
That's debatable. I feel like this actually would have been more useful if they made it that they're immune to fear and daze. Because if you make them immune to daze, then the Phoenix counter is out the window.
Doesn't Merrick make them immune to daze? I don't remember.
Maybe. I don't know his kit well enough.
I don't remember. Obviously Mara Jade. Yeah. Mara Jade looks good. Karth looks like it's going to have a good use if you have him.
Karth is going to be the old character that sucks and suddenly is really good again.
Yep.
Kron here.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw there's 2 in here that I think are going to be undervalued. So 1, Dengar. So if you look at Dengars, and especially in 3v3, Whenever an enemy takes a turn, Dengar takes a bonus turn.
Ooh.
That's not it to start the battle. That's every time. Every time an enemy takes a turn, Dengar gets a bonus turn. And then he does 100% more damage. So imagine if you're running like, you know, a Bosk lead with Dengar. I know we're going old school here, but like for any early game players, this is probably a standard team for them. Every time someone takes a turn, he's going to take a turn, and he's just going to start spamming those thermal detonators over and over and over again. So like this is a team that, especially in earlier game settings, he's going to be disgusting.
Yeah.
And then kind of a late game one that I think is going to be potentially good is Django. On the same vein here, if you're running him with a trench team, putting this on there, and you got him super slow, and he's still got that tank tech, he's gonna mess some people up pretty significantly. So
100%. Sweens is gonna love that one.
Yes. Yeah. There's a lot of level. So there's obviously some OP level 9s, but there's a lot of I think easily missed level 9s that are going to be very usable here. I don't think there's any like junk level 9s, if that makes sense.
No. Yeah, and then obviously you have Shinhati. Zalbars is going to be a good one. 20% defense for each Old Republic ally, so he's going to be a good one too. Yeah, I mean, all these level 9s look pretty good. There's definitely some outstanding ones that are, you know, going to be more so the ones that you want to go after, but I don't really see a whole bunch of like, oh, you just don't want this one, it's crap. There's a couple that are just basic run of the mill, but we haven't even looked at the stats. But so we have crit damage, potency, health, protection, crit chance, health steal, and tenacity. I mean, anytime, I don't know about you, Shawka, but anytime I can get a Datacron set that's going to pad stats and just make it thicker on top of what we've already seen with the level 3s, level 6s, level 9s being potential timeouts. That's what this calls to me. It's I love packing the stats and just, you know, having extra health and all that stuff. But man, there's gonna be some timeouts from all this.
You're just really excited for the health steal. Let's be honest here. It's your favorite.
I mean, look, that's a lot of health steal, right? Once you get to that certain level of health steal, like that's a lot of damage.
You're gonna die. You just take it.
You're just gonna die.
Health.
Yeah,
you're just gonna die.
Look, right? I don't understand why CG does not do this. Right? So tangent for a second, guys. All right, bear with me. I'm about to blow your mind with some math. All right, Sweens taught me this. He's a math teacher, so you gotta trust him. Okay. If you go for a Datacron set and you get health steal that's 100% or more, it should instantly defeat him, because what you're doing is you're stealing 100%, or let's say 105%. You're stealing 105% of their health and giving you 105% of their health. So it should drain their life. Essentially, you know, they might have protection, but it should drain all their health. And so for people like, you know, I don't know, people that don't have health bar or protection bars, you get rid of all their protection, you should instantly defeat them. I don't know why CG doesn't do that. They didn't teach math. Maybe they need to go to school. They need to go to school with Sweens. I don't know.
That's why they added the health bar to the shield generator.
For people like me.
If they hadn't done that, then the health steal wouldn't have worked. You'd never be able to beat it.
Fair. Oh man, let us know down in the comments below. It's not ridiculous. That is factual evidence. There's mathematician scientific evidence to support that. Let us know down in the comments below. Is there any Datacrons that you see out of this set that apparently is only in the game? It's not anywhere on the forums as of this recording. It probably will be by the time you guys see this video, because, well, that's just how we roll.
That's how it works here.
It's just how it works here. We're always late to the party. Yeah, we wouldn't change it for anything. Yeah, let us know down in the comments below what you guys think of this Datacron set, and if there's anything that we missed that you can see some crazy stuff going on. We'd love to hear from you. There's this pack that came out that included all this stuff in here: PvE energy, Cantina energy, ability Zeta mats, and Omicrons, crystals, and droid brains. Shawka, do you know by chance how much of each was in there? I don't remember.
I do not, and I don't
think it's up anymore either.
I have my game open. I don't think it's available right now.
Okay. So at one point in time, they released this pack within the past couple weeks or so, and it was $15, and you got all this stuff. They came out with a post, and I highly recommend it. I'll include the link in the description below for you guys to go and do it. You might want to hurry up because we don't know when they're going to, cancel out the post. But they said, thanks again for your time. The survey is going to be used to determine which item gets removed from the community pack we just released. We will then increase the value of the other items in the pack. The pack will remain $15. Shawka, I'm curious as to which one you picked and why.
So I was really torn on this, to be honest with you. So for me, I don't hoard energy, at least not yet. I've debated doing this because I'm trying to go for Ahsoka. I've debated hoarding the energy to try to get her ult as fast as possible. I just don't feel like it's an efficient way to play the game. So initially I was like, oh, well, you would get rid of, PvE energy. But if you're someone that's hoarding that energy and you're trying to stack up on that, then you don't want to get rid of that. Vice versa, Cantina energy. Everyone needs Cantina energy because everyone needs signal data super badly. Yep. So I don't think you get rid of that either. Zeta mats you definitely don't want to get rid of. Omicrons you definitely don't want to get rid of. Which leaves you to droid brains and crystals. For me, where I am in the game, droid brains are not a huge issue for me. I have quite a few of them. I know a lot of people that have a lot of relics where that is different. I just am very tight-waisted. I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for. Fiscally responsible? I don't know. I don't have a ton of relic levels outside of what I have to have. So I don't have a lot of droid brain shortage going on. For me, it's the crystals. If I want crystals, I can go buy crystals. Like, that is not something that I need to be able to get in a pack. I can go somewhere else to get crystals. So for me, that's the thing you get rid of. I've never been a fan of crystals being in anything that you buy. Like, if I go to buy like the Punishing One bundle, for instance, I don't want to pay $10 to get random crystals. If I want crystals, I'm going to go spend that money on the crystals. Like, take that crap out of the pack and let me just get what I want, the specific thing that I need. You know what I mean? For me, it's crystals, to be honest with you.
Okay. So I contemplated that because I'm in the same boat with the crystal idea, right? I've always I hate the fact that they do the marquee packs and they force you to buy, a $10 pack worth of crystals or whatever, just to increase the cost of the marquee pack. The marquee packs used to be what, $20, and now they're 30 because you have to buy.
10.
Were they 10?
It was 10 back in the day. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they were.
So OG Basti, I think, was $10. She's the last one that I spent money on a pack prior to me going for Ahsoka.
Yeah.
And she was only $10 because that was my thing. I would not spend more than $10 in one sitting. Then they jacked up to 20, and I said, "See you later." And now it's 30.
Yeah, I remember that now. Yep. No, you're right. So I've always been a fan of that. However, with this pack being a guaranteed $15, and if they're increasing the amount of crystals, again, I don't remember exactly how many crystals it was, but I think it was only like 250 to 500.
I want to say it was 300 or 500, somewhere in that range. Yeah.
So if they're increasing the amount of crystals, let's say they keep crystals, if they're increasing it, you might get 600 or 700 crystals for the same price, regardless of if they take it out or not. I feel like that's not a bad steal. The Cantina energy, 100%. Everybody needs that. Everybody needs that. Whether you're farming, I'm actually super excited because I just finished farming Morgan Elsbeth. She's at 7 stars, so now I can go back to farming my sickle data that I so desperately need. Zetas, everybody needs those, especially with Balin, with Conquest, and with Ahsoka coming out. Everybody needs Zetas. Amis, 100%. Everybody always needs Amis. Droid brains. I don't understand how you don't need droid brains, because we just made you Relic 9 a whole bunch of Inquisitors, and droid brains is what gets you Relic 9s. So I feel like you need a whole bunch of droid brains.
Let me double check. So, all right, right now.
And if not, that means you also need a Relic 9. You need a Relic 9, I think 3 characters for the Ahsoka thing.
As of now, yeah. Well, two confirmed, likely
Two,
three.
probably Fulcrum as well.
Right, Fulcrum has not been confirmed yet. I have 173 droid brains.
Oh my God, so Relic 9 some things, Shawka.
I told you, I don't Relic 9 anything unless I have to.
Okay, so
Literally, the Inquisitors are the first ever Relic 9 sub goal I've ever had. Like, they are the only frivolous Relic 9s I have on my roster.
That is insane to me. Well, wow. Thanks for calling me out, Shawka. Yes, I have a whole bunch of frivolous. Well, I had, because I stopped playing that account. I had a whole bunch of frivolous Relic 9s thanks to the amazing community that supports all of us and makes me do dumb stuff on stream.
Yep. Trolls. They're a bunch of trolls.
That's why I have a Relic 9 Ugnaught and Relic 9 Cup and Relic 9.
That's why you don't have droid brains.
That's why I don't have droid brains. Exactly. So for me, the answer that I went for was the PvE energy, because if I want PvE energy, I'm just gonna go and refresh for it. They're not going to give you probably more than 1,000 PvE energy at most, anyways. So if anything, I'm just gonna refresh the 350s and refresh the 3100s, and that's gonna get me 700 or so energy right there. Yeah. I don't really care about the PvE energy, whereas everything else, I can say that there is a definite supply and demand issue with them. So that's just what I went with. I actually, depending on what they do, I might actually go in and buy this pack. I did not buy the original one, but I might actually go in and buy this one. I don't know. Like I said, link will be in the description below. You guys fill out the survey. I highly recommend it. It's not going to hurt you. You don't even have to buy the pack. Just, it can do nothing but help you and maybe entice you. Maybe you'll see a good pack and you'll actually want to buy it. So, I don't know. Let us know down in the comments below what you think of this. I don't think they've ever really even done this before. So, I'm eager to hopefully that they continue this trend and give us like additional packs to review and change and whatever. I like this. I don't think it's not a bad thing.
I could see it being good. I wouldn't mind seeing some variations on it.
Yeah.
Like energy community pack where it's crystals and energy and maybe like relic materials. Mm-hmm. And then you have an ability community pack where it's mostly Zetas, Omicrons, and crystals and other stuff. I don't know. Like a little bit of energy, something like that.
We'll see. Let us know down in the comments below what you think, and we'd love to hear from you. So, like, follow, subscribe over out here. Party's not done. We got to go over to Shawka's channel and do part 2 right now. So we'll see you over there. We got some good stuff to talk about over there. Until next time, Squadron dismissed.